let's get into your body stuff.
Okay.
Because you seem like you have. Do you have stuff?
Plenty. Got plenty. Yeah, my body sucks. Awful body. It wasn't even really that deep, but I could see my finger bone when I cut it. It wasn't even bleeding that bad. It wasn't even that, but I could see my finger bone, and I literally passed out and put a hole in the wall.
Steph Infection.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hey, hello.
Steph Infection. Trae Crowder is here. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. Looking forward to discussing all the things that are wrong with me that I hate about myself and all that. Yeah.
okay. Well, we talk normally first. We don't have to get right into the like.
Okay. I'd prefer to only talk about all the things that are bad
like,
that I hate the most.
Nothing else
about life. But no, yeah,
we're on a show together too.
Which
week, tonight.
Tomorrow night?
What night is it? Whatever night is it?
At the Improv?
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. Okay.
Sunday
I'm at the
Improv.
Saturday and Sunday. I didn't know which one you were talking about.
Yeah.
But,
Kate Braggart.
I know.
You're covering my dog here right now too.
I know.
Susan came over here.
Right.
She really flopped around. Do you have a dog?
So I'm used to it. No, I'm covered in cat hair, I assume.
Okay.
So I guess maybe she's cool with that, or that's
yeah, she doesn't care.
Yeah,
okay.
She's my cat will probably be a bitch about this when I get back, but that's all right. You know,
a cat and kids.
Two cats and two kids. Two cats and two boys.
Two boys.
Yeah, middle school, 12 and 13.
Oh shit.
So yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 38, so I got started young. I'm white trash.
Okay.
That's how we do it. Okay. I'm like trailer trash from the South. So actually, like, when I had my first son at 25, like, the guys I grew up with were all like, you know, what took you so long? We've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Like, they already had kids that are older and everything, and now, but I also was already doing stand-up at the time, and though my friends in that world were like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah,
you know,
what
is wrong with it?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you got like a wife and kids, and you're like a real person. It's fucking weird.
When did you start dating her?
I started dating my wife in 2009, and I started stand up in 2010.
Oh fuck! Okay.
So I've like never been single as a comedian.
What? That means you're a nice, safe boy.
Yes, girl comics sometimes ask me to like walk them to their car and stuff.
Yeah, I think the accent too, your
yeah.
like southern accent makes you seem like a nice, safe boy, or you could be like closeted creep. I actually don't.
Yeah,
know.
Absolute lunatic, secret psychopath. No, I think that I'm like way too much of a like people pleasing wannabe sweetheart.
Okay,
I think.
to be
like
pervert.
To my own detriment. I mean, like I don't know. I'm like too nice. I think I weird people out with my
How nice you are,
sometimes.
really?
Sometimes I think so. Yeah.
I don't think you're that nice. No.
Okay. Thanks. All right.
I mean, no, we haven't hung out a lot, so I wouldn't know what is your like nice, and what's your like, kind of not nice.
Right. Well, I don't think I have a kind of not nice. It's weird. It's like on the one hand, I'm very like, I don't know what the right word is. I'm like, boring.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
I'm not nice. Like, oh, honey, you look so good today. It's so good to see you. Like that type of thing. I'm just like, I just want everybody to like me. Is all I'm trying to say.
Really?
Even though I want everybody to like me, I try to like. I also will just sit quietly in a corner awkwardly for a long time. It's a bad combination of things to be,
It's 38. You still have people like you. I don't give a fucking shit's ass anymore. I'm done with it. Don't fucking like
that's
me.
that's the way you should. That's what I'm saying. It's better to be that way.
Because didn't we? You don't still have that manager.
No,
we had. I'm not gonna say anyone's name, even though I always drop names. And we had a manager that wasn't great.
Right.
For a long time. And I dropped her pretty quickly. And then I remember being like, is he still with her? And then I think I weirdly looked up one day and you were. And I was like, he's got to get out of there. Yeah,
no. By the time we actually met for the first time at Flappers, I had rectified that situation.
Yeah. I feel like you're too nice to get rid of it.
That's kind of, when I say it's to my own detriment, that's another aspect of it. Is like that type of thing. Even when I know something is not great and I should make a change, it's like I'll put it off for way too long. I just won't.
God.
Yeah.
I like having the awkward. I had another agent in Canada that I fired because they made me give them $2 because I had like a residual check for $4 come in. They're like, we'll get that $2 when you're ready. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? $2. 2 loonies you want me to send in the fucking mail to Canada? Are you crazy? So I was like, we're done. And they're like, what happened? I go, it was the $2.
Yeah, that's insane.
It simply was the $2.
Right.
I'm not paying that. Are you fucking crazy?
Yeah,
Nuts.
you got to deal with like the exchange rate and everything.
8 quarters I'm sending home? My dad to drive downtown. Here's the quarters of my daughter owes you. Insane. Anyways, I like having the conversation. I like that mean. I shouldn't like it. I kind of like being mean sometimes. I don't know why.
No, it's okay. I'm sure it feels great, but
you see, you're a nice man with 2 children. I think when you start comedy with somebody and you're still with that person, that's a good sign.
Yeah. Oh no. She's been awesome. Because people used to tell me all the time, because like I said, so the first kid, the one who's 13 now, was born when I was like 18 months, 2 years into doing stand up, right? So I was like a MC at the club in Knoxville and all that type of thing. And like, that's when I had a newborn for the first time. And so people used to tell me back then, other comics and stuff, they would say things like, if you didn't have that kid, you might have a real shot at this or whatever, like that type of thing.
That's
like
nice.
That.
So supportive.
Yeah, but that was just the general rule of thumb, especially for like a young. There's like you literally can't do this.
Yeah,
and have kids. It's like you're doing well, you're funny, that's great, but like it just you can't do it. You got to like abandon your family or abandon this. But I was always like, nah, it'll be all right. And it worked out for me, but. The very important caveat is that is only true because of how cool my wife was about it the whole time.
Yeah.
Their mom, like, if she had not been on board with it, they would have been 100% right. I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah, because you're gone a lot of nights, right?
Yeah, and she was always like supportive. So like, if you got the other part of your teammate is on board, if they're actually supportive about it, then you actually can do it. If they're not, it is going to be like hellish trying to make it work.
Did she work at the time too?
At the time, she did. She was a personal trainer and like had like fitness boot camps and that type of shit. She was all like shredded and doing Zumba and Pilates and all that stuff.
Just squatting the babies out. She's like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. She was ripped, but then she, ever since she's been like a stay-at-home mom since then.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, there's no way in hell I could right now have a baby.
Right.
I'm at the cusp. Yeah. So I'm like, it's either now or never kind of thing. But I'm like, now? Mm-hmm. I'm about to drop my first special and I'm about to fucking flop around. What am I doing it? My boyfriend's not here either. He's always gone on the road too doing shit. It's like, the dog's watching the baby? I'm hiring a nanny? With what money? I can't even pay for this podcast. Sorry.
I don't know.
Sorry, this is a freebie.
No,
I owe money every month.
No, you're right. Yeah. And you're like, you're crushing it. You're doing awesome. You're great. So it's like, and still you're like, I don't know how I'd make that work.
I had to stop touring.
So, right, yeah.
We're done. We're a pregnant woman and I'm done. That's it.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah, no, it definitely complicates things. But it's normalized for us. We talked about this in one of those green rooms that time. That like even for me, like I feel like I balance it pretty well, and I'm on the road a lot, and I feel like I don't feel like it's like ruining them or nothing. I have a good relationship with them, but like it's affected me here in LA because I'm on the road so much, and when I come home, I don't want to be out all the time. I'm off the road this weekend, so I'm going to be at the Improv or whatever. And I was at the Ice House last night. But if I'm or not, whatever, it doesn't matter. But if I'm home, then I'll like get spots if I can. But whenever I'm like traveling and I come back for just 2 or 3 days, I just don't want to do that. No. I'm not out and about the way that I need to be. So like, even.
But here's the thing of like being out and about here. What's really happening around here? Like you're not getting like club work on the road from doing local spots.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, maybe you're getting a couple more fans, but it's like, I left the show last night and not to be smug, I don't think I've ever done that well in the main room at the store, ever. No followers. Right. Nothing. I was like, okay, maybe someone like said she was funny when they left. Like nothing's coming out of that. Yeah. Could have been home. Like if I had kids, I would have been home. She had diarrhea. I probably would have been home with her diarrhea.
Yeah, but then on the flip side, like I'm sure you've heard, like I feel like every comedian has heard that, Neil Brennan's thing, he says that every good thing that's ever happened to him in his career came from hanging out at a comedy club with other comedians.
Has it?
That's what he says.
I've been doing comedy for 23 years. Yeah. I've hung out. Uh-huh. I don't know if it's a hang. I don't know what it is anymore. I think it's just being kind of in the right place. I think it's just being fucking lucky. Getting a little sliver of fucking luck. Because I'm like,
that's definitely a huge part of it.
Hanging out. Mm-hmm. Nothing. I come home and I couldn't find a parking spot last night. And then I got in a feud with my neighbor he tried to snake my parking spot today. It was a whole nightmare. I'm like, what am I getting? I got catcalled for the fucking first time in a long time because I normally wear jumpsuits. The other night I was wearing the one night I wear a skirt. I went out for dinner with my boyfriend's family, and there's at the corner of my street there's a lot of prostitutes. We'll
Nice.
say.
Yes.
Ladies of the night. Ladies
Jinx,
of the
how about
night,
that?
Jink,
Yeah.
tell me, Jink. Ladies of the night, and they're very scantily dressed. I was wearing a skirt, not short, like high socks, leather jacket. Guy pulls up as I'm almost at the house and goes, "Get in," and I was like, "Get in." I'm like, "Get out of here!" I was so mad. Then I started yelling, "This is why I wear jumpsuits!" And I'm like screaming to myself, terrifying. Get in. I have a mullet. What do you mean, get in? I'm not who you're looking for. Go back to the corner.
Oh, maybe you were
turn around.
exactly
I was so
what that
pissed.
guy was looking for. You know,
I was so angry on my own fucking street. I gotta move out of this area. Do you have a nice area?
I mean, I live in Burbank, near where we
Okay.
used to record at over
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Sorry, I'm
yeah, that's all right.
making you drive to
No,
East
I
Hollywood.
was when we decided we were going to do this before I knew you moved over here. I was like, oh, that'll be great. I can just I can ride my bike over there in 3 minutes or whatever.
And then
but I don't blame you. But so I mean, literally that neighborhood where that studio's in.
Okay, you're right there?
There, like I
that's
really
nice.
am like like a 8-minute walk from there or
fuck.
something. So like that part, it's fine. It's fine.
Sorry.
I'm just saying, so you know what the neighborhood is like because
Yeah,
you've
okay,
seen
it's
it.
nice. So it is nice. It's nice. It's a
Well, it's like
family
nice
area.
and quiet to family, like suburban, very
yeah,
neighborhoody.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You're not
My kids
having-
used to walk to school every day at like Walt Disney Elementary School, you know, which is
my
on the same street
God.
we lived on. It
Okay,
was all
okay.
like Norman Rockwellian and shit.
Does your wife also have a southern accent? I'm assuming she's from the South.
I don't think that she does, but I think you probably would. I think people in people out here hear her talk and ask her where she's from, so
Okay.
they can hear it. But I don't think she has one at all.
Your kids?
They definitely don't.
Okay,
They've
that's
like
what-
grown up
here.
almost entirely in. They were
Okay.
born in Tennessee, but when we moved out here, they were like 3 and 4. They've only ever gone to school here.
Okay.
Ever. Like, so they're like little Californians, you know.
Okay.
They don't have an accent at all.
Tennessee. I was in Franklin for quite some time last year. Franklin, Tennessee.
Was that when you were you had that show at Zion, like around Christmas time?
Yeah, my boyfriend was doing a play out there, and I went
Okay,
and
so
stayed with him.
I knew you were there for like an extended period of
Yeah, I
time.
was there for too long.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of conservative flags and well, not conservative flag. What are those flags called? With the
Confederate flags?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well,
My
you know,
bad.
Those are kind of
They're kind of the same.
overlap
yeah,
nowadays.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot
overlap
of
in the two.
those in Franklin, and a lot of
No, Franklin is
Franklin is a lot of whiteys up there
very
in
white.
Franklin.
A
Yeah,
lot of honky shit in
a
Franklin. Yeah.
lot of honky shit. Wasn't loving Franklin.
No, I don't blame you.
Yeah, well, you live in Knoxville, which was nicer.
I mean, it was it was weird because I moved here in 2017. I did
Okay.
stand up in Knoxville. I started in 2010 up till 2017. And those 7 years, like, because people ask me all the time, because I'll do like, you know, lefty shit or whatever, and they'll be like, man, that must have been crazy. Like, you know,
Yeah.
when you came up in Knoxville, I bet you got like threatened and shit like that all the time if you try to, you know, like shitting on the Bible or doing like, you know, pro-abortion bits and that type of thing.
Yeah.
But like, that ain't what happened. Like, even like, because I do, you know, I don't know, you do shows at bars and I was in my 20s. It's like there are people in the crowd or
They're like normally.
they're like 20 somethings that go
Yeah,
to
yeah,
bars
yeah.
and shit. They're not the Confederate flag truck drivers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even in the South, it's like a Southern city. So it's like, and I did plenty of redneck ass shows and stuff, but I grew up amongst that. So I don't feel like, you know, I'm not put off by that. Like I'm from the town I started comedy in Knoxville, but the town I grew up in is like as fucking backwoods, you know, dirt road redneck shit as it gets.
Okay,
Really.
you're like shooting guns as a kid.
Yeah, I learned how to shoot a gun. My pa, which is my grandfather, me, mom, pa, my pa, Johnny, taught me how to shoot a gun when I was like, I could not have been older than 4 or 5 years old.
my
something like
God.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like 12. I'm like, that's early. Holy
No.
shit!
I was like a little kid. Like he taught me how to shoot at that age, and I had my own like 22 rifle and stuff.
Oh my god!
at
No
5-year-old.
gun accidents in the family?
No, no. He was, you know, they were. A lot of people are. Look, a lot of toddlers accidentally shoot their siblings and shit plenty often too. But a lot of people there are like pretty serious about like gun safety,
Yeah, okay.
hunter safety and rifle safety and that type of thing. And mine were always good about that. Now, having said that, the gun cabinet that he kept his arsenal in, it's not a safe. It's just like a glass doored cabinet that any kid could open. And I never thought about that my whole life, but he died. I inherited that arsenal, and it was at my dad's house in my hometown for a while. And when me and my wife would go there and visit with our kids and they were toddlers, like for the first time in my life, I saw that for what it was and was like, that's fucking crazy.
That's insane.
Because like now that my toddlers are around it and they could just open it up and pull a gun out if they wanted to, I was like, what the fuck are we doing? But that's how it was my whole childhood. And I never thought twice about it. Like it never occurred to me at all.
Because I guess if you grow up with it being there, you don't think it's weird. You don't think it's like, ooh, what is this? This thing we can't touch. You're like, that's just there, and the family knows it's there, and that's just part of us.
Yeah. But so, it's just...
Were you shooting animals? What were you shooting? Cans?
I mean, as I learned, like, cans, targets, and shit like that. I definitely have shot animals. I was never real into hunt. I actually, for a while, when I was younger, I was like actually a really good shot. I took like riflery in college and was like one of the best ones in my class or whatever. So I was like a good aim, but I killed disappointingly few animals because I'm a lazy sack of shit who hates the morning. And like hunting, you got to get up. And those dudes, they live for that. But you get, it's like 16-year-olds getting up at 4:30 a.m. on a Saturday in the winter time to go sit in a tree stand where it's cold. And I was like, nah, man, fucking... I got a new PlayStation game. I'm gonna sleep till 11. Fuck all that y'all have, so I just never was into it for that reason. I don't have any kind of qualms about shoot all the deer you want. That's fine with me. But I just didn't. I couldn't get up.
You're just sitting out there. When you just mucking around in the cold, you're not eating. Isn't you too loud if you eat?
They just sit there for hours until they spot something, and then
do they talk or they have to be quiet because
you're definitely supposed to be quiet. Most of the guys I knew, they would go alone.
Because I was gonna say that's weird to sit there with a grown man crouched down for hours on end in silence.
Sometimes people do take people, and you're supposed to be quiet. Bill Engvall used to have a stand-up bit about going hunting with his wife, and most of the bit is about her just talking the whole time. Most of the humor comes from the fact that she won't stop talking.
Yeah, my bitch of a wife won't
just
shut
runs
up.
her mouth all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
I just want to murder shit, and she won't shut up with her bleeding heart bullshit.
Which we really do. I realize I talk to myself, and I forget I do until I'm around somebody that I don't know. Like I walked in the green the other day. It was so embarrassing. I didn't know Nicole was in the back. And I walked in and I was like, God, it's cold in here. I'm freezing. What the hell is happening back here? And he pops his head out. He's like, hello? I'm like, hello.
I'm really glad you said that because I know we said, women are, and then you're like, yeah, I do this. But like that specific thing, I also do that and always have. And what percentage of people do you think do that? Like, because I've talked to people about it. I've been like, everybody does that, right? And
I think most do.
The people that I've talked to have been like, I don't, and I'm always like, are you lying about that? Because I'm saying, like you said, like I'll be in my house alone and I'll just like talk about things, like just you know what I mean?
Full conversations.
Pretty much, yes. Like just talk through whatever I'm thinking about or whatever.
Yes.
Even it's like today, it's like the Grizzlies. I'm walking through my house. It's like they fired the coach. It's a weird time to fire the coach. The playoffs are about to start. To me, even if you want to fire the guy, you wait until the end of the season. Like I'm literally saying all this to no one, like aloud in my house, and like I one of the many failed pilots I've had out here, a TV show I tried to make, one that was set out. It was like, a version of me, some redneck idiot living in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I tried to put this device in it where the me character, like, talk, how like in the show Fleabag, she would turn and talk to the camera.
Yeah.
He would do that, but he wasn't breaking the fourth wall because he wasn't talking to the camera. He just talks to himself, but it accomplishes the same thing.
Yeah.
And everybody I was working with, they all were like, okay, so what is this about? And I would tell
you're like, I'm just fucking talking to myself.
And I'd be like, you know how you talk to yourself? And they're all like, no. They act like it's not a thing. And I've been wondering, like, is it a thing?
I think it might be more of a thing with people who are like introverts, I guess, like people who like actually perform.
Yeah.
Because my boyfriend also does it. And then the two of us, which is wacky, we're both in here just talking to ourselves. And I'm like, if anyone came in, they think we're having a conversation. We're in two different rooms just fully talking.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, I don't. I'm like, you just had a whole conversation with yourself at the piano. I'm like, I wasn't in the room. It's very bizarre. I like it.
I like it too.
I'm never going to stop. I don't know why.
Me
I don't
neither.
find it weird. I get
find
things
it
done.
like helpful.
It is helpful.
Yeah, right. It helps you like. I guess maybe some people just do all that inside their skulls.
I guess so.
But like for me, it just helps me like think through things and process shit or whatever by just talking about it. But
I
to
feel
nobody.
like maybe I feel like less lonely when he's not here. I'm just like yapping.
probably also
and I
is
kind of
part of
narrow
it.
it, right?
Yeah.
Stuff too. I'm like, wow, time to cook dinner, get the pan out. I'm like, just say. I think at some points I'm just talking for the sake of just fucking talking. Like at this point, I'm my mouth is dry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, shut up. I'm parched.
You're right though. It is weird when you get like caught or whatever by somebody like that.
Let's get into your body stuff. I want to
Okay,
because you seem
sure.
like you have. Do you have stuff?
Got plenty. Yeah, my body sucks. Awful body.
What?
Just
What do we mean?
aesthetically, physiologically, health wise, all that. I got like first. It's just like so. I mean, most of this is my fault because I eat like shit. But like I work out like a lot, and you
Like
cannot
how many
tell.
hours a day? What are we talking?
Oh, hours a day. I mean, an hour and a half.
Okay,
per
okay.
day.
That's a lot.
But like, but literally every day that is not a travel day, like like where I'm flying across the country. As long as I'm not doing that, every other day, whether I'm in a hotel or at home, I'm working out like every day, and it just never really matters. It helps a little bit, but I'm still just a doughy piece of shit. But also, the worst part.
What are you eating?
Oh God, everything. I'm a human garbage disposal. The number one main problem I have is that like I can keep it together so well all day, right? Be a good boy all day long. It'll be time to go to sleep at night. I get up off the couch. I'm heading to my bedroom, and I just take a fucking left turn into the kitchen, and I go in the kitchen, and I stand in the dark eating Girl Scout cookies or whatever the fuck until I hate myself, and then I go lay down and moan in agony until I finally drift into the abyss after about an hour or so, and I just tack on another 1,500 calories right before when I was at the finish line. I had done it, and then I just erase it all right at the very end. So it's like that's the main thing I do, but I also have a real like affinity for fucking pizza, cheeseburgers, burritos, like meat, liquid cheese. Love liquid cheese.
Liquid cheese.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What are you putting that on?
Yeah, what? Like I get. You ever had Shake Shack's liquid cheese?
No, I've never had liquid cheese.
Just yesterday. Me and my buddy Corey call it the yella. Like they got really good yella because because it's yellow, and that's how we say yellow. But yeah, so like
I was getting
yella,
that, yeah.
yella. So like Fritos has this like jalapeno cheddar like liquid cheese dip. That's a real good yella. Dodger Stadium has some of the best yella on earth. And
Jesus
Shake Shack's is really
Christ.
good too. I went to.
You're eating like a fucking college kid. What is this?
I know. And the thing is, just so you know that it's like I'm just a fat kid and like all kinds of food. I also like am actually a pretty good cook and cook like nice and good things too. It's just that I also like trash.
Okay.
Like I'll make a fucking duck à l'orange or whatever.
Well.
But then throw down on nachos Bel Grande.
Just put some fucking yellow sauce on the duck orange.
I was that's another realization I had about like, I forget how much people are put off by that. Cause like I was at a sports bar in Burbank watching a basketball game or something with my buddy who's ripped. And, I asked the server, I was like, hey, these nachos here, it says they have cheese on them. Is that like the liquid cheese sauce? And she was like, oh, no. We shred it here in-house or whatever. And I said, well, do you have some liquid cheese sauce you can pour over that?
God.
And my rip buddy goes, Jesus fucking Christ. And I wasn't, expecting or anticipating that. And I was like, when I realized like, oh yeah. People think that stuff's gross.
Insane.
We used to.
Your wife's a personal trainer.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah.
Didn't she say something?
Oh
about
yeah,
it?
yeah. She'll get on to me about all that, but I don't know. She's about giving up at this point. That's what I'm saying. Like if I didn't work out every day, I'd be 350 pounds or whatever. Like it would be the only thing that keeps it at bay.
Doesn't it make you feel like
shit all the time? How'd you guess?
I was like, why can't you just stop? Well, the problem is you gotta simply stop. You're an adult man.
Yeah.
Because you have snacks, because you have kids still. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well,
My snack is fucking yogurt. I have nothing in this house.
that they're now that they're middle school age, it's like we have less of that. But when they were little, yes, that was a huge problem. It'd be like I would finish off so many half-eaten Dino Nuggets.
Oh,
and
yeah, they're so
Easy
good.
Mac and cheese,
Yeah,
like all
yeah,
that
yeah.
type of kid shit that
Yeah.
little kids would never eat all of. I'm like, well, I can't go to waste. There's starving kids in Africa.
Yeah.
It'll make them feel better if I get fatter. Those starving kids in Africa, and I just shovel it into my mouth. But yeah, I don't know. It's literally a lifelong thing because I was like a proper fat kid, like as
you
a
were?
child.
Okay.
So this is like a lifelong thing.
When did you
with me.
lose the weight? When you got like you got fat kid in high school, or were you like
Yeah, no, it was in high school. It was like sophomore year. I think sophomore to junior year that summer, I had a big growth spurt and grew like 6 inches in the summer or something like that, which helped. But that's not the only thing that happened. At the same time that happened, I tell the story sometimes that I don't. This is how little people know about nutrition or anything. Like where I'm from, like growing up. Like I've been a fat kid my whole life, and I was in high school now, so puberty has happened, or I'm in it. I like girls now. I'm very cognizant of like I don't want to be fat anymore. So I was like, basically I was only eating once. I just knew eat less food. So I was eating less food, but it wasn't doing anything. It wasn't making any progress at all. And I came home from school one day, and I did the same thing I did every day when I got home from school. I opened the refrigerator and pulled out the Sunny Delight. I don't know if you guys had that.
Yes, we did.
That ambrosia in Canada, but I put up the Sunny D.
the orange stuff?
Housed half of it or whatever in one, pull, sat it back down. But this day, I happened to actually be paying attention when I sat it back down. The back of it was facing toward me, the nutritional information. And I was like, wait a minute, what? And I was like, hold on, what the fuck? Up until that moment, I did not know that liquids could have calories in them, or that
Okay.
liquids could make you fat.
Yes.
I was like, what the? Because I never drank anything but liquid sugar, just like Sunny D and sodas and stuff.
Sodas, yeah.
Nothing but that. And I didn't know that was a factor, until this
God.
moment. And I realized it, and I was like, Jesus Christ. And I like quit cold turkey that day, and I started drinking only water. So I cut those
Okay.
out, started drinking only water, and had a growth spurt. And between like sophomore and junior year, those two things combined, I lost like 35, 40 pounds or something like
Jeez.
that, and grew like 5 or 6 inches. So
What
that helped a lot.
is in Sunny D? Just sugar.
Just sugar, yeah.
It's sugar and like orange
Some
food
kind of
dye.
orange powder that they get
yeah.
from somewhere. Like they put in there.
Jeez, that's brutal.
Did you know that even like fresh squeezed orange juice? Do you know that like it is orange juice? That's true. I mean, I'm sure not all of it is, but a lot of it is legitimately orange juice. But because of when they have to harvest it and how they harvest it, they have to keep it for so long that it would go bad if they didn't pasteurize it in these big containers, right? So they can keep it for longer to sell it. But that process removes it tastes just like water at the end of it. So it is orange juice, but they have to put orange like flavoring back into the fresh squeezed orange
God.
juice when they bottle it to sell it to people because of the process they use to keep it around for a while. So it's like,
So we're still drinking shit.
yeah,
You're still
right.
drinking fucking
Yes,
sludge.
at the end of the day. But anyway, yeah. So that's part of
Okay,
it. The
so
other-
you're really now you're disgusted by the dog hair. You're like,
Yeah.
you need
No,
it
no,
off
I'm
you.
sorry.
I was like, Jesus, she was bathed recently.
So yeah, there's that. Here's another fun one. I'm like kind of, I don't want to sound so horrible. I sound like a fucking Cronenberg character, but I got a bunch of tumors and stuff. But they're like, yeah, but they're benign. It's fine. You ever heard of lipomas?
Yes, are these do you think,
Benign
related
fatty
to-
tumors.
I was going to say fatty.
Yeah, the
tumors.
fatty. Yeah, all my fat just congealed into like blobs and settled into my arms and stuff. No, I
Where-
don't think so.
in your arms? Can you see any?
Yeah, you see
I
that
see
one
this.
right there,
Oh yeah, it's the little guy.
and then right there's
Oh
another one.
yeah, look at that. So what do you do
my
with those?
Mima, I could get them cut out.
God,
but
you're
they-
from the South.
Yes,
Ma
Mima. Yes,
Jesus.
my Mima had this. She didn't know the name of it, but she had it, and I definitely have it too. It's called lipomatosis, which is just anybody can get these lipomas, these benign fatty
Yeah.
tumors, but lipomatosis just means whatever, you're more inclined to them, so you get more of them.
Okay.
So it's like I just have them, these on the two I showed you on my arms are the ones that like you can see the easiest, but there's some in my like thighs and on my torso or whatever. And I've talked to the doctor about it and whatnot. And she was like, yeah, no, they're fine. If you want, we can cut them out. But like they don't do anything. So to me, that feels like, I don't know, unnecessary or vain or whatever.
Okay,
but I still don't like it.
If you have it on your face,
I would get
you?
that cut out.
Okay,
yeah, I think so. But yeah, so there's that. I've had 2 eyeball surgeries.
What do you mean? Okay, this is,
Yeah.
God. What do you mean eyeball surgeries?
So I'll try to be.
Wait, hold on. I need to take a drink. The eyeball is the one part of the body that I get sometimes faint from. So
Yeah, sure.
how bad are we talking? Is there going to be like a knife involved?
It's a surgery. I mean, they cut into my eye, but I was unconscious for it. Both my eyes, twice. But like,
I wasn't ready for that.
but yeah, I wasn't.
Wait, let me get back to the lumps before we get
Sure.
the
Yeah,
eyeball
I'm
thing
blazing
here.
through all
You're
these.
blazing
I
through
know.
this,
I'm
and I'm like, I might be going on Dr. Pimple Popper because I have a little lump in my head that's
Yeah.
very tiny, and now I feel like that's a waste after seeing your lump.
Well, that's on your head. Yeah, right. I'm seeing what
I'm seeing your lumps,
Yeah.
but like your wife isn't bothered by them. You're just like they're there because if they cut them out.
Yeah.
Was it really hurt or just like a slice and they would just like kind of because just like fatty tissue, right?
Yeah, right.
Slice and a couple stitches.
Yeah, I think my sister when she was in high school, she had it done to a couple of them. Also in her arm, she had a couple that, and she
Okay.
was a teenage girl, and she was like, "Fuck this, cut them out."
Yeah.
And yeah, as I recall, it was like you just described.
That's it. Then there's
Slice,
no like
pull them out. It's
and
not,
you don't care.
not a big
You're
deal.
keeping your lumps.
I just don't ever.
What if you got on like your dick? Would you cut that off?
Yes, I would. I mean, I'd like to think, but like, it more. I said it was like, oh, it's unnecessary and vain, but the truth is, it's just like I just don't ever do anything like that. Something like that, like a thing you have in the back of your head. I need to get taken care of.
Yes.
Like I need to go to the doctor and see about this thing, whatever. I'll just be like, I just don't ever do it, and then one day it'll kill me or whatever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I tried to do a bit about it for a while because I don't know if it's just a Southern thing or just a dumbass redneck thing or what. But every man in my family has always kind of been like that. They just won't. It's like
Get it looked
there's
at.
there's even like a saying, and people, it's like you can't have anything wrong with you if you don't go to the doctor. You know what I mean? Like if the doctor's one that tells you
Yes.
what the problem is, if you just lie to yourself that there is no problem, then
You're fine.
Then you're fine until you die of a massive heart attack, out of nowhere, like my grandpa did. Or
But was he young when he died?
no, I mean we was 69, nice, but I was 18, so I thought he was fucking ancient.
Yeah.
And 69 is not young, but it's like he should have lived longer than that. He
Okay.
would have if not for his exploding heart. But
It is so nice. Okay, so get to the eyeball. The eyeball. What do you mean? Why are you having eyeball surgery? What's going on?
So I'll try to be concise with this because this was like a decade-long thing with me. In my mid-20s, I started in my left field. If I'm looking that way and I look at you like that out of the corner of my eye, I would see 2 of you, right?
Oh,
like when I
God.
looked to the left, everything was double.
This is no glasses, just regular eyeballs.
Well, I mean, yes, it would happen whether I had glasses on or not. But
Okay.
I've had glasses since I was a kid, so
Okay.
like I was wearing glasses when this happened, but it wasn't related to the glasses. So my eye doctor at the time sent me to an ophthalmologist, a specialist, whatever, and they all said they were like, they're basically just like, "Huh, that's weird," they're like, "But it's only when you look to the left, right?" And I was like, "Yeah," and they were like, "Just don't do that, just don't look to the left." And they were like, "You'll be fine." And I was like, all right, whatever. Because when I looked straight or when I looked over here, everything was cool.
Fine.
So it's not that big of a deal. That starts when I'm like 26, 27. I move out here at 30. By 31 or 32, like over the years, gradually, that effect had shifted over in my field of vision to where by the time I'm 31, 32-ish, I see double like everywhere.
Oh fuck!
Like all the time. And
God, were you dizzy?
Oh, it's incredibly disorienting. I would
Good
like
Lord.
walk around. So I had kept going to the because I knew that was a gradual progression, and so I'd been back to the doctor and went to other doctors and went to ENTs and went to a neural ophthalmologist at Cedars-Sinai and all these like 6-7 different purported specialists over the years. And the best answer I ever got, they were like, "Yeah, no, we can't do anything about it, but what we can do is we can correct the double vision with a special type of lenses that's called prism, right?"
Okay.
And we're like, "Here's the thing. Your eyes will adjust to that prism. You'll have to crank it up like every year, And there is a maximum level. And once you get to that level and you can't crank it up anymore, at that point, there will be nothing we can do. And you'll have to, I was going to have to like wear an eye patch, like write some pirate jokes, get a parrot, figure some shit out.
I mean, that would have been kind of funny.
Yeah, that was
pirate.
at that point, that was going to be the only recourse. And that was the diagnosis I had been given. So I was, getting my prism up every now and then. I had like Coke bottle glasses because all this prism in them and stuff. But as long as I had that in my glasses and I was wearing my glasses, I could see.
So with your glasses off, you're still totally fucked.
I didn't get this confirmed at the time because I didn't need to. But I think in those days, if I didn't have my glasses on, I think I might have been like legally blind.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm nearsighted. That's what the glasses are for.
Yeah.
But when I nearsighted and everything is just split into two, it's like I couldn't. I basically
on drugs all the time.
Yeah, I basically without the feeling good part.
Yeah.
I basically like stopped driving during that era.
Yeah.
Like I never drove anywhere. Like
Fucking LA too.
I know. I just like had given up on it. Like I only ever took Ubers and stuff, or if like I was getting booked on something that had to, I'd make sure like whatever, speaking at something and some college in New York and I got to fly into here. Like I always had to make sure y'all got to have somebody to drive me or give me some, because I can't drive out there and drive back. Like it was a thing.
Fuck.
And but I was just like, I'm just living with it. And then Christmas of like 2018, maybe 2018, 2019, something like that. I went to a Christmas party. Do you know Ed Larson?
No.
He's Jeff Ross's cousin. He does comedy out here, and he's like the last podcast on the left guys, Henry and all them.
Yeah,
he now co-hosts that show with them. He's old friends with them or whatever. Anyway, he's a good buddy of mine. I love Ed. He had a Christmas party at his apartment in like Christmas 2018, and I went to it just to hang out. And while I was there was this girl there who I, randomly struck up a conversation with. She was Ed's fiance's college roommate. So she used to live with Ed's fiance in college. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So she has nothing to do with comedy. I was like, so what do you do? And she was like, I'm an eye doctor at UCLA. And I was like, I was like, is that so? And she was like, why do you say that? And I was like, I got a whole thing with eye doctors. And she was like, what do you mean? And I told her a version of what I just told you. And she was like, come with me for a second if you don't mind. And we went back in this back room, probably looked real bad to the people. So we go back in this back room and we get there and she pulls out this little like doctor thing, like looks like a pen, but isn't. Some little thing, she pulls it out of her pocket and she's like, cover up this eye, follow that. She starts moving her fingers around, doing all this, and gives me this like impromptu examination. And when it's over, she goes, I know what's wrong with you. And not only do I know what's wrong with you, but we can fix it.
Oh fuck!
Here's a number you can call or whatever and set it up. And so I did. And it's called the Stein Eye Center at UCLA, and they like specialize in this. And it's actually not even that uncommon, but it's incredibly uncommon, typical me, to happen to a person my age.
Okay,
which I think is maybe what threw people off, because it's like typically it's either like this is evident from when the time a kid is a toddler and they like fix it at that early age, or all super old people, like at the end of their life they can develop this problem. But for like a guy in his 20s and 30s, it like almost never happens. But it's the same thing. It's called strabismus, and it's a problem with the muscles in your eye, and they're not whatever.
Strabismus.
They're not. Your eyes are supposed to reconcile each other or whatever. Everybody would see double if not for how our fucking eyes are wired to our brain, and it
connects them.
And mine just weren't doing that the way they're supposed to, and so they did a surgery to fix it, but it didn't work, and I had to reschedule it and do a second surgery.
What? So they went into your eyeballs.
Yeah, but I'm asleep the whole time.
Well, I would hope so.
But they do.
Having a double eye. So they went in. What did they say the problem was? Why didn't it work the first time? Is that common? It can just not work?
I guess. Well, it's not common, but it, again, just like, lucky me. It's not common, but it can and does happen. So they were, they told me, they were like, we're going to have to, take another crack at it. But God. But that fixed it. So I'm like, I'm still nearsighted. That's why I'm wearing glasses, but I don't have the double vision anymore. Thankfully, it is possible. It is possible that it could like come back, but like,
God, how's the healing after
even
it?
if it does, I'm okay with it now that I know exactly what to do to address it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want that to happen, but I'm not that worried about it either because I know it can be fixed now.
Okay.
The healing after, I mean, sucks, but it's not like I had to, I had this antibiotic stuff, like a gel that I had to put like in my eyes.
Oh God.
And like, some people just wear them for like migraines and shit, but you've seen those face masks that you put in the freezer?
Yes,
like
yes.
Like a blindfold, but it's got some kind of
nice.
ice gel in
Yeah.
it. I'd put that shit in my eyes and cover them up with that. And I had to keep it like that for, multiple hours a day, but I didn't have, not all day, but like, so I listened to a lot of podcasts, I'd just be laying there with my eyes covered up, just listening to whatever in my ears. And then that took like, that part with your eyes hurt and it's annoying takes like a week or 10 days, but then your eyes are blood red. They don't hurt anymore.
But like gross, like looks like you punched out blood red?
Yes. Like very, very noticeable. And they look like that for like another 3 weeks or something.
That's a long time.
So I'm going to like meetings at my kid's school and I look like crazy high or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, right. And I have to tell literally everyone I talk to, I have to be like, I had eye surgery. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm Trae. I had eye surgery.
Yeah.
That's why my eyes look like this.
Oh,
because it was like very,
God.
very noticeable. Either that or, where I also during that time would wear like sunglasses inside and at night a lot and that type of thing.
You have to. God.
So, yeah, that was
Slicing?
fun.
So they told you they sliced the eye and went in and...
Yeah, it's like it's like a deal where you like slice it, like you peel it back, open it up, you get in there and dig around. I don't think that's the medically accurate way to describe it, but that's what they do.
Oof.
Yeah,
That's
I always
a lot. That's a lot.
I always had a thing with eye stuff too, but I guess that sort of hardened me to it, that experience.
yeah.
But for me, that was just like my main thing with all that is realizing like how with doctors, like obviously a lot of doctors are fucking great and they know their shit and know a lot more than I or you do, but like doctors are like literally any profession on earth, meaning like, some of them are shitty.
Yeah.
Some of them miss things. They miss things all the time. They're just human. They fuck up. They don't know what they're doing. Because before that, it was always like, I go to the doctor, they tell me a thing, and I'm like, well, that's what's true about this. That's what's wrong.
It can't be anything else.
It can't be anything.
Yeah.
And ever since that experience, it's like, no, get a second opinion.
Yes.
Whatever. It's like they can be and often are wrong about shit. Just because they're doctors doesn't mean anything. Because like I said, a decade's worth of 6, 7, 8 different like specialist people along the way. None of them knew what to do. And then a random Christmas party, I met a girl.
Thank God you talked to her.
Who just happened to know exactly what the problem was. So it's pretty crazy.
That's crazy you mentioned that doctor thing too. Rebecca, who just did the pod before you, literally, she had something and she's like, I think it's this. They're like, no, it's cancer. And then they're like, oh, never mind, it's what you said.
Yeah.
So it's like, you gotta do a little bit of research. You can't trust everything.
Yeah. But the research though.
Well, that's when you go down on the fucking wormhole in the Google. But she's saying like
exactly.
Reddit helps too. Like when you're on Reddit looking up some stuff, sometimes you can find like actual people. Like I got diagnosed with cream a really long time ago, and I was like burning my skin. I'm like, this doesn't feel good. And then I went on like some website and I saw like thousands of people like, get off the cream, it fucking melts your skin. And I was like, ah, and then I stopped using it. I was like, okay, well. But you never know. Everyone's body's different to shit. I don't know.
No, I know. Yeah, I definitely believe that too. I think Lewis Black had a whole thing about that where he was talking about how he thinks like everybody's like body or health is like our fingerprints basically.
Yeah.
Like everyone's is unique to themselves. Like something that you could do for 40 years would kill me dead in 5 or whatever, and vice versa, like that type of thing. And I do think that there's some truth to that.
There has to be. Right?
Yeah, but I also think that I'm on the shittier end of that spectrum when it comes to like resiliency, medical resiliency or whatever. Like I've had doctors before tell me, they like look at my chart or my family history or whatever, and they're like, well, that's a tough draw. And then of course I had to go and pass it on. But my wife, everybody in her family lives to be a fucking 100. So hopefully my sons get those genes.
Well, maybe they're not eating just cheeseburgers and liquid cheese.
Well, yes, there's that too. I talk about it's like every man in my family dies relatively young or whatever, but they also smoke like a freight train and fucking drink. And I did. I vape now, which I say doesn't count, but it definitely does.
It's worse.
I don't
isn't
think
it?
it's worse. It cannot
You're doing
be
it
worse.
more often.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that I am. I might be, but I don't think so. But as somebody who smoked real cigarettes for years, there's just to me, there's no possible way it can be worse based on the way that it makes you feel. Like,
Okay, yeah.
like cigarettes, like that you can tell, like,
You're not coughing as much.
right, you cough, you can't smell, you wake
Yeah.
up with fucking awful taste and shit in your mouth, and you go to like a party and smoke more than you usually do over the course of a night and stay up late or whatever, and like you wake up and it's like your lungs hurt or like your chest hurts and shit like that. Like, and I don't get literally any of that from vaping. Now, maybe if I was doing it like, some of those like those dudes from the like fucking TikTok videos and stuff with the vape tricks and all that shit.
Some of those are pretty cool, though.
They are definitely very cool, but I'm saying
Start doing that.
If I was doing it, yeah, that'd be a good avenue.
That'd be your
for me to
new.
get into. Always
Yeah,
looking
that's
to
your new.
expand.
You gotta expand. You're the
diversify.
redneck vapor.
Yeah, would be good. I'm trying to do. You just reminded me. I need to figure out something to cook tomorrow because I've made like 4 cooking videos.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Wait, you have a special.
Oh yeah, it's called Trash Daddy. Thank you for
Okay.
saying that.
Yes.
I'm real bad at
God.
everything. But yeah, Trash Daddy. It's on YouTube right now.
It's out right now. Okay.
Check it out.
Check it out. How's it doing?
It's doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm feeling good about it. Liking it. Got
Good.
Putting out the clips and all that.
Gotta
have
do the clip. You gotta clip it all.
I'm literally gonna clip the entire
Literally,
thing.
you
by the
should
time
clip
it's over.
every fucking minute of that thing.
I'm going to.
You
By
have
the time
to.
it's all said and done, I will have put out the entire thing
Yeah,
in
of
clip
course.
form. Yeah,
I will.
Well, it's like you said.
to.
No, you have to. Yeah, you got to do it.
That's all I complain about now is like doing fucking clips and shit. I'm like, more clippies, clippy.
Gotta have the
That's how we
clippies.
do.
But yeah, that's why I like also, and I don't think I'm going to do it. So I said I was going to start like cooking stuff, which I've done a couple of them, but that's like, that takes, a fair amount of effort. And it's like, cause I have to make, because the whole
Yes.
premise of it is, it's like my hillbilly ass making like fancy things. So I make
Yes,
like
okay.
macarons or whatever, like that type
Yeah,
of
yeah,
shit, which
yeah,
are like,
yeah.
that stuff's hard.
It's very hard.
Like it's hard to do it right.
Yeah.
So it's like first I have to do it while also filming it all and then edit it and speed it up and do the voiceover and all that. And it's like I've done them and they're fun, but also a pain in the ass. So I also was thinking about doing like I got a new PC and I got like a program on there to do like video game clips.
okay.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like point being, it's just in my head, it's like a fucking clip. What clip? I got some
Isn't it
clips. Every
sick?
type of clip. I need more clips of any type that I can think of or
I
come
literally
up with.
forgot to post at 11 today, and I've been having a full spiral this entire conversation.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't post. What time am I going to post? When am I posting next? It's like, it's a really demented way of thinking.
Yeah, no.
And like try, especially, but this is good because you need to have like, that's why I post sketch stuff, like a sketch video, a podcast clip,
Mm-hmm.
stand up, something different, a food thing. It's like, you're just trying to sell fucking tickets. That's all we're trying to do here. Trying to
Yep.
get people at the fucking shows. That's it.
That's all. That's what it's all about. But it is like, it becomes, like you said, it's like, I don't know. You think of, you hear comics talk about it, and it's like, and in a way, it is also true where it's like, fucking, I sleep all day. I work for 1 hour, that type of thing. And it's like, it is also that, but in the modern era of how everything works, it's
We
like,
work all day.
It's literally perpetual. Like it doesn't ever, and I'm not, I'd still much rather do this in my old day job. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, it don't ever really turn off is what I'm
Yes,
saying.
yes,
Like
it
my
never
old
does.
job, it's like it would piss me off and whatever, but I'd get done and go home and that shit was gone.
Yeah.
Until the next day. But with this, it's like, it's just like your life also. Like
Yeah.
you're never not thinking about it at least. Or,
Thinking or doing. It's fucking, we've gone crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So Trash Daddy, where'd you film it?
Dallas at the Addison Improv.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you done that?
Yes.
Club? Yeah.
I love that club.
Yeah, I love it too. It was
Minus
great.
the fact they told me they were recording all weekend and then didn't tell me their cameras were broken. Did I have my camera on me? Yes. Did my opener also have his camera on him? Yes, he did.
But you didn't use it because they.
Can't use any of the clips. My face is a blob.
Yeah.
It's a blur. I'm floating around. It's not unrecognizable. And I had like, when you have a clip and when you're on stage, you say something, you're like, that's viral. And then you don't have that clip anymore.
Yes.
Do you have any more body things?
Trying to think. I mean, I also had you said like surgeries or whatever. I I had a sinus surgery too, but those are not that uncommon. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like
they go in there and they just muck around in there?
Yeah, pretty much. They just clear all that shit out. You get like inflammation in there over the years that leads to like sinus problems and stuff. Like, are you more prone to sinus infections? Like I was just...
No.
I thought I just moved out here and I was particularly allergic to the shit out here.
Okay.
That's what I thought had happened. But it was actually that I had all this inflammation and stuff in my sinus cavities that was making me be all fucked up all the time. Sinus. So constantly like just, like that shit.
Yeah.
And they went in there and scraped it all out. And
scrapey. And then you're fine now?
Yeah. And then you have to spend the recovery for that. You got to spend a week or two doing the,
that
neti
thing,
pots or whatever.
It goes in.
And this is after a surgery. So it's like a bunch of like, clotted blood fucking
coming
like
out.
dark red nasty mucus and blood mixed together shit flying out of your nose. It feels so good when you like
you got a lot
flush
of
it out though.
Stuff going on. You got a lot of stuff in your head. My God.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yeah.
I love this because I ask comics like, oh, I have stuff. They come in, they're like, I stubbed my toe in '92, and I'm like, that's fucking stupid. I don't want this.
I have like the
people
problems.
want this. We want the.
I know. I have like the the maladies of like a 70-year-old Jewish guy or something like that. I can always feel like I'll, got stomach issues, allergies, whatever. I've been seeing a sleep specialist lately. I just recently started using a CPAP machine.
Oh, really?
Because they said I had sleep apnea, but I swear to Christ, I think it's making it worse somehow.
Because that's annoying to sleep with that in your face, isn't it?
The dude told me, he was like, it's going to take a while to adjust to this, which means it won't be effective for that time, but I'm coming up on like a month, and he's like I'm talking like 6 weeks. So it's been like 4 weeks, and it's still only pissing me off. But I'm sticking with it though.
Is your wife annoyed by this? You just like,
no, she already loves it because they're the modern era ones. They're super quiet.
Okay, so you can hear anything.
It doesn't keep her up.
Okay.
And it also apparently, which it's supposed to do, it keeps me from snoring. So like for her, it's been an improvement.
Yeah, she's loving this.
It's just not improving.
Because you're not snoring because you're awake.
Right.
You're just
like half awake all the time.
Snore.
Fucking I feel like I'm walking through a dream some days and stuff because it's like I'm barely sleeping. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm all fucked up. But,
you must have a good one of these. Then what's the worst body thing you've ever heard?
I actually the only thing I can think of. And it's like literally just a story I heard secondhand, like a hunting story about a guy he was bow hunting. So he's got the arrows in his quiver, And I don't know if you've ever seen these arrows that they use for hunting purposes like nowadays, but I mean, they're like crazy fucking sharp, obviously. Like, they're wild looking. And he was standing on this log and pulled one out or whatever, like to use it. And then the log like snapped under him and he like fell over and stabbed himself through his own face with his own hunting arrow, like through like the jawline and out like that
out the other side,
and was like 2 miles into the woods alone. So he had to like fucking trudge back and get in the car and like hold his face together with his hand while he drove himself back to the fucking like park ranger station or whatever it was, where they called a helicopter to come pick it. And he lived, he survived, but it was fucking.
Oh fuck!
That was like, I was listening to that story, like, recoiling in pain the whole time, and it's like, to me,
that's bad.
Yeah, I don't like. I'm sure being shot is no cakewalk, but for some reason, I don't know why, but like any kind of like impaled, like a stabbing, that type of thing, like bothers me way more for some reason.
It's so gross, especially if you
it's like stuck in there,
and if you see it.
Yeah, like
through it. I'm like, I'd be panicked. I would faint. I couldn't walk.
I would faint if I saw a person like that.
Walking through the woods, like what's it?
I actually so. You said I cut my finger. You could kind of see a tiny little scar right there.
Yeah.
I cut my finger right there. And if you think about how your finger's made, like it wasn't even really that deep, but I could see my finger bone when I cut it. It wasn't even bleeding that bad. It wasn't even that, but I could see my finger bone, and I literally passed out and put a hole in the wall. I looked at it and swooned like a Southern debutante and fell into the fucking wall and came to like 30 minutes later with my bros being like, "The fuck, pussy? What was that?"
You're like, "Man, cut my finger."
It's like, look at it. You see it? It's crazy looking.
Oh God.
So yeah,
that's a bad one.
Yes,
I
it
don't like
is.
that one.
You also, and then funniest way to die.
Funniest way you could die, yes.
Well, me, I mean, not that I
That'd
would.
be you personally.
Oh, okay. Well, shit, I wouldn't do that. Let's see.
Okay, what's the one you thought of, though?
Well, I just thought you meant like funniest way to die. We used
Okay.
to want to do when we were doing these like online sketches for Comedy Central a few years ago. Me and Corey and Drew, the two guys I was doing them with, we like one of the ones we had on the table that we didn't do was we wanted to do a sketch set at like a Southern funeral where this redneck had died, and he was like a buddy of ours, but he had died in a really like ridiculous situation. So like we keep cracking up at the funeral because of how stupid it is, you know,
Yeah.
the way that he died, and it was based on a real story we read about a dude in Florida who like dropped his phone into a body of water, and a like alligator like chomped on it, like took it, and so the dude jumped in the water to fist fight the alligator to whoop its ass and get his phone back, and then it surprisingly didn't go that way, and he ended up getting chomped
up.
himself.
Yeah.
He got as they say, and
God.
it's just any kind of like male hubris like that, that results in a person's death is like inherently kind of funny. I mean,
Yes.
getting eaten is a tough one, but when you kind of
It's like
explicitly
get a new cell
deserve
phone.
it,
You're not
yeah.
gonna fucking. Have you seen the video of the guy wrestling a dog out of an alligator? It was in like a golf course.
Oh yeah.
That's a fucking badass video. The dog's like
Yes.
crying and the dad's like, "Ugh," like full dad strength.
Mm-hmm.
If that anything,
Right.
I'd peel an
Well, if
alligator off her.
you got that adrenaline going, you
Yeah,
can lift up cars and shit.
You
with
get that dad adrenaline, don't you? When you're like something happens.
I mean, I think that I would. Luckily, I've not been in any kind of like life or death situation with them before. Thankfully,
No alligators. Keep them away from
no
alligators.
alligators. No. But yeah, no, man. I really wish I'd have thought more about the funniest way for me to die, because there's like
It's going to be eating liquid cheese. You're going to be slipping on liquid cheese.
well, yeah, that's what's really gonna happen. Yes, slip and crack my skull open on liquid cheese that I
and then you
spilled
see
everywhere.
it in the reflection. You go, ah, and then you faint
Yes.
again. That's
No,
it.
it'd be like, I also have this thing, my friends who know me well know, that's like where I try to be helpful and it backfires or ends up pissing people off. Like because they don't understand what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Like I was given the wrong drink at a Starbucks one time that we were at, and I took it back. And I did this. This is what I do. I bring it back and I was like, look, I don't even care. It's fine with me. I would drink whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I just think that someone else might be getting the wrong drink and they might be upset. So I just want to bring this back.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. And they're all like, the lady was working at this particular Starbucks, like English was her second language, whatever, and she clearly doesn't understand it, and she thinks she see me I appear to be having a meltdown, even though the meltdown is in an attempt to avoid looking like a dick, but it is not working, and so like they think that I'm being a dick,
one,
right?
yes.
That I'm crazy, and so then it like backfires, and by the time I left the Starbucks, they literally sang me out like that, that like na 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 na,
Yeah.
hey goodbye, like the crew of the Starbucks sang that when I left the building finally.
Oh
after.
my God.
So it would be something like going to like a fucking like some kind of protest or something, some kind of Black Lives Matter protest, and trying to like help out or do the right thing, and then someone kills me with a brick because they think that I'm
you're like
on the other side
Yeah,
of it
yeah,
or
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
Keep away from protests.
Yeah.
Go watch his special on
Please.
YouTube. Please, God. And what's your handle on Instagram so we can find you?
Instagram specifically is official Trae Crowder, because some wily son of a bitch scooped me on that years ago.
Okay.
But all the rest of them is just Trae Crowder, TRAE Crowder.
There we go.
Yeah.
Go watch his special. Go see him live. Your website, your tour dates and stuff.
Yep, TraeCrowder.com, all that.
Simple stuff.
Simple stuff.
Thanks for driving all
Thank
from
you
Burbank.
so much. It was fun.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Susan.
Steph